Hello everyone, it's Ralph Humphrey. Welcome to Rhythmic Awareness, Episode 4. Today's subject has to do with the metric system and the cyclic system coming together. I'm going to show you an exercise that involves clapping and counting, which will be interesting and I'm sure challenging. But before we go there, I want to thank everybody who's been viewing on Facebook. Thank you so much for your interest and support, and by all means your comments. And if you have a question on any of the episodes, be sure to type it in and I'll be happy to get back to you on it. I'm also posting on YouTube. You can go to my YouTube channel, Ralph Humphrey, and type in Rhythmic Awareness, and the episodes will come up for you. By all means, share these with your friends. And I also want to thank the new subscribers that have come on board. Thank you so much. So I learned the cyclic system, going way back when I was playing with Don Ellis and his big band. And so I just want to review some lessons that I learned by playing with Don, especially as a drummer. So I was thrown into the situation rather abruptly. I was playing in college at San Jose State with the big band. And we had invited Don Ellis to come up and perform his music with our band. Well, his drummer, Steve Bohannon, missed the flight for the rehearsal from Los Angeles. So it was left for me to actually play first chair in the band. Don always had at least 2 drum chairs in the band. So it was quite a challenge for me to be in that position. I had only briefly learned about his music. So I learned about leadership, number 1. What does that mean? That means that as a drummer, you are leading the band. The band depends on you to keep things moving forward, to keep that train on the track. So once the leader counts off the tune, the baton goes to you. All right, and now you need to proceed and not stop. Stopping after a mistake is actually a bigger blunder than the mistake itself. And you will make mistakes, no question about it. I made a lot of them, but I learned about that, and I learned how to be a good leader by making sure that I didn't crash and burn myself, because that would bring everybody to a halt. There's an old punchline to an old musician's joke that goes like, "Drum stop, bad omen." Well, you want to avoid that situation. What I learned second was about reaction, okay? When you do make a mistake, there's a reaction to that mistake. The reaction has to be positive, and it has to be willful. You have to make a decision in that moment to do something positive. And that means stay on the track. Do not stop. Do not dwell on the mistake. You might berate yourself momentarily, but that's all the time you have. You got to keep going. Things are still moving forward. The band still depends on you. So the reaction element is really, really important to learn about. I guess the third thing has to do with self-confidence. There's nothing that builds confidence like success. So when you have success moving through mistakes that you make, but still maintaining the course, leading the band, doing your job, this builds confidence. In fact, it made me kind of fearless. The music was so challenging that once I sort of felt confident, I also felt fearless, which allows you to do challenging situations in the future. Playing with Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention was quite challenging, and that was in my future. Little did I know, but we'll talk about that a little bit more in later episodes. Okay, I'm going to use some notes today to make sure that I stay on track with you regarding this combination of metric and cyclic systems. So what I want to do is show you an exercise, and basically it's going to be using the Duple value 2. And the clap will be 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay? And you can consider that as a 4/4. 4 beats per bar. 2 plus 2. Now, over that, we're going to count, or if you want, sing taka, groups of 2, starting with the quarter note, then the quarter triplet, 8th note, 8th triplet, 16th note, 16th triplet, 32nd note. A progression of note values in groups of 2. here's our tempo. Let's start by counting a measure of twos. Here we go. And 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Ta, ka, 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 ta, ka. Taka 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 taka. The 30-second note does get kind of quick. Okay, what you realized by doing that exercise was that the triplet value was challenging because it was rubbing against your clap, your beat, okay? We can use the term polyrhythm, which means more than one rhythm at the same time. Okay. Yeah, the duple values is also a different rhythm than your original clap, but they coincide quite nicely. It's the triplet value that created the rub. So that's using groups of twos. So now here's what we need to do next. We need to use groups of three, and I'm going to slow down the tempo quite a bit to a 55 per beat. Now we're going to count threes, either 1, 2, 3 or ta, ki, ta, the Indian syllable of counting a group of three. Again, the 30-second note becomes quite fast even for me. Okay, so we're going to count in duple fashion. We're going to clap in duple fashion, and we're going to count groups of threes, quarter note to 30-second note. Here we go. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 1, 2. Start counting. Ta, ki, ta, 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 ta, ki, ta. Ta ki ta 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 ki ta 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 ki ta Takita, 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 ta. Okay. What did you notice? First of all, some of those counts went beyond the bar line and had a different resolution point. In fact, we're looking for a natural resolution. How many cycles of three did we have to count before there was a natural occurrence of the downbeat note with the group? Well, it took 3 measures actually of a 4/4, all right, to do those groups of threes. Now the triplet value, I did 2 bar cycles of the triplet value because, first of all, they all resolved in 1 bar, but I did 2 measures just to elongate a little bit the count. So I was counting the duple values for 3 measures except for the 30-second note. I actually ended on the beat 3 of bar 2 because either a group of 3 will resolve in 3 bars or in 3 beats. Okay, so I did 6 beats worth of 30-second notes because I was running out of breath, frankly. And so these are things you're going to learn about rhythm and about cycles and how they react and respond in a metric structure. All right, this one is definitely more challenging than the duple values that we counted previously. But I think both of them will teach you about the 2 essential units of rhythm, 2s and 3s. We will continue this by by adding different groups of notes in cycles and actually changing the beat structure as well from duple to triple to maybe even quadruple. All right, so that's the lesson for today, and you may want to go back and have a look at that whole thing again and see how successful you are by the counting and by the clapping. All right, so until our next episode, I look forward to that. You all take care.